Well, I am so excited today to be here with my good friend, Kerry Caranci, who is the CEO of the Community Foundation of the North State. And in today's conversation on the City Builders podcast, we're going to cover where Kerry came from, the Community Foundation, some of its origin, the funds that you have, the challenges that you guys have helped solve over the years, and just the incredible place that we get to call home in the North State. So it's a great conversation, and thank you so much for being here, Kerry. Welcome to the City Builders Podcast, brought to you by the Reading Chamber of Commerce. I'm Todd Jones, President and CEO. In each episode, we bring you insights from local business leaders, tackle important issues, and explore what's shaping the future of Reading. Whether you're a business owner or just interested in our community's growth, this podcast has something for you. Thanks for joining us. The City Builders Podcast is brought to you by Obsidian IT. Obsidian IT is a Reading-based, employee-owned technology company providing simple, scalable outsourced IT for your business. Discover how Obsidian cares about IT and give them a call at 530-242-6000 or obsidianit.com. Obsidian keeps us running at the chamber, and we could not do business without them. Do you have one of those cash guns where you shoot cash out?
We did one time for Giving Tuesday, and then it broke before the day of, and that was a big
I feel like you need another one.
We might have to get one.
Do you have a large format printer for all your big checks that you write?
No.
Where do you just get them from, like Pat Corey at McHale or something?
We have a reusable one for Pat Corey,
yeah.
and then we just erase it and reuse them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You have like the best job in Reading. You just got to give people money.
We have a good time.
It's amazing.
It's hard work.
Yeah, okay. It's hard.
But it's a lot of fun.
Rewarding.
Yeah.
You get to see a lot of fruit of your work, like
we do.
Pretty immediately.
Driving around town, driving anywhere in the community, we can look at things and point at them and say, oh, some of our funds helped that. Oh, some of our funds helped that.
That's sweet.
That's pretty cool.
That's sweet. So how did you get to the Community Foundation? Are you from the area?
I'm not from the area.
Okay, you're local now, though. You've been here long enough.
Yes, I knew I made it, and I knew I was considered local when someone asked me what high school I graduated from here.
Oh, nice.
So that was my indicator.
Okay.
However, born and raised Portland, Oregon area.
Wow. Reading's a little different than Portland.
A little different.
Some stuff's the same. Some stuff's very different.
A little different, yeah. Went away to college in Tacoma, Washington at University of Puget Sound.
Okay.
Met my husband there. He actually grew up in the Bay Area and came up to Reading to go fly fishing with his family. And once he graduated high school, obviously went to UPS as well, but then made Reading his home.
Yeah.
Started guiding, working for the fly shop.
Wow.
Got married and settled here.
Fly fishing brought you guys to Reading.
It sure did.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's kept you guys here. I mean, now you don't have a choice. You have to stay forever, but...
Well, we want to stay forever.
Yeah.
So there's no choice to make.
Yeah.
So we've been here for over 20 years now.
Oh, my gosh.
We're settled. Our son is here, making his path as well.
Yeah.
We love it.
And now your son's a local. I think about that. My wife's from here. I'm from Trinity, which is kind of like close. Like you're not quite from Reading, but you're almost. And I'm like, my kids are Reading natives.
Yeah.
Like they're Reading natives. Like I wasn't really, even though I was technically born here, but like this is all they know. Like I've lived all over the place, and I'm like my kids only know Reading.
Yeah, and
which
it's
is
a great place. It's
Yeah,
a great
awesome.
place.
Yeah.
They should be proud, and they are proud.
Yeah, they are, for sure. It's awesome. So you came here through fly fishing. Your husband, did he get a job like with the fly ship or as a guide relatively quickly after
Yes.
college?
Yes, he started with the fly shop running their kids' summer camp for fly fishing, and then moved into guiding, and then moved into managing guides, and then moved to the international travel department. And now he is a contract consultant outside of the fly shop doing something different, but still in the fly fishing industry.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Did he go to college for fly fishing?
No, he got his degree in creative writing.
Okay, yeah, that kind of works.
It totally
Does
works.
he write for fly fishing publications ever?
He has.
I know it's a little off topic, but curious now.
Yeah, he has written quite a few articles for different publications, and he also wrote a book on Belize River Lodge, one of our favorite places to go in Belize for fly fishing.
Wow, that's incredible. We might have to pick him up for some Visit Reading stuff. Write about fly fishing a little bit. We need more. We always need more content. So
That'd be great. He'd love it.
That'd be awesome.
Perfect.
And then I could actually go fly fishing and learn firsthand.
He'd love to take
I
it.
love the water. I love the river. I love the outdoors, but I just haven't done it.
It's pretty easy. It's. I feel like it's fairly easy to pick up.
Okay.
I had never been fishing in my life, never been camping, not really outdoorsy. And now I fish fairly often. We travel to go fishing.
Yeah.
I've been camping. And so here I am.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then outside of fishing in the community foundation, you're also on the soccer pitch like 24/7. At least your son and your husband are.
Yes, we are always something soccer. If someone asks me what my schedule is, it's work or soccer.
Yeah, year
But
round.
we love it. Year round. We love it. It's great, though.
Tell us about how you got to the community foundation, how long you've been there. And again, a few months ago, we had Shannon Phillips on. She kind of talked about the need for the community foundation, why it was established. But tell us a little bit about the community foundation, kind of how you got there, and then, what you guys do, like just like the purpose of the community foundation, why it exists.
Sure. So I've been there for over 19 years now, which is crazy to think how fast that has gone and how long I've been in one place. But I've been in many different positions at the community foundation. So moved to Reading looking for a job. I started out as admin assistant.
Wow.
And a friend of ours in town said, hey, this place is looking for an admin assistant. You can do that. And at that time, we were Shasta Regional Community Foundation. And up in Portland, during college breaks and things like that, I was working at a hospital. And I thought, I'm kind of ready to get out of the hospital world. I don't know if I want to work at a hospital again.
Yeah.
Well, that was a common misconception
Right.
with everybody at that point. It's not the hospital. And it was the community foundation. And I just got to learn so much about our community, which helped root me here, learn about all of the causes, and really help our donors make those impacts with those grants. So I've done pretty much every role since then, and I've been CEO for about 12 or 13 years now.
Okay. So what does the community foundation do? Why does it exist?
Sure. So we're celebrating our 25th year this year, which is super exciting at the Community Foundation. We started with 7 funds and $300,000, and we were built by the community for the community. So donors who wish to establish funds with us help build community through the Community Foundation, and we are stewards of those funds. So if you were to come into the Community Foundation and say, hey, thinking about wanting to establish a fund, don't know where to start, don't know what to do, help me. Those are our favorite times.
Okay.
We love to sit down and just have a conversation with people. Where'd you grow up? What's your passion? What do you like? Where do you want to see your impact? Do you want to see it now while you're living? Do you want to see it while when you pass? A little bit of both. That's just a great opportunity to help donors give back to community, create impact. And we establish those funds.
Interesting. So why would someone, like, let's say someday I'm incredibly wealthy and I have a legacy to leave behind. I'm sure there's lots of different options for people for what they can do with their money. Why does it make sense to go to the community foundation to set up a fund and have the community foundation, really run that legacy for this family or this individual?
Absolutely. So really at the heart of what the community foundation is, we are here in perpetuity. We are here forever. We aren't going anywhere. We are not going to change. We're just going to grow and help our communities more. So if someone has $1 million or more, or even not, you don't have to be a millionaire to be part of the community foundation. You can establish a fund upon your passing, and the community foundation will be there to steward those funds exactly how you want them to way into the future. You can absolutely give directly to the nonprofit of your choice, but you don't know what they're going to look like 5, 10, 50 years from now. But the community foundation will remain solid and steady to make sure those funds are used how you wish for forever.
Interesting.
Even if things change, even if organizations aren't there, we will adjust to make sure your wishes are met.
And how does that, we don't need to get too detailed, but is there like a legal structure for like, hey, this is what I want, and you have to stay within this box in perpetuity? Like, how does that look? Do you help them set that up? And
we have a really simple fund agreement. It's 2 pages.
Oh, okay.
We walk you through it. You tell us what you want, and we tell you we can make sure to make that happen. Wow. It's a great way to leave a legacy. Perhaps you want to have your children making the decisions after you pass, or your grandchildren, or you just tell us exactly what to do. Or perhaps you're not really sure. Maybe you really want to help the community, but who knows what it's going to look like after you pass.
Yeah.
We have the fund for the North State, which allows the board and staff at that time at the community foundation to figure out the best needs and impact possible at that moment.
Okay. So how do the funds work? Do they all get pooled and like leveraged so that more money can really be spun off of this funds? And how many funds do you guys have total right now?
Absolutely. We have over 180 funds right now, which is phenomenal thinking about the 7 we started with 25 years later till today. And we invest the funds in a pool, so they're commingled. So your fund, no matter how big or small it is, it's commingled with the capacity of all of our 30 plus million in investment. So it's this great powerhouse that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, 30 million in an endowment with even a conservative interest rate can really compound pretty quickly. When I learned about compound interest in high school, I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Like it can really build upon itself.
Yeah.
Pretty immensely. And does it kind of go back into those funds, like percentage wise, or is it kind of is some of that extra, spun off into different like overall funds? How does that work?
Whatever your fund earns or whatever the pool earns, it's proportionate to whatever your fund size is. But of course, it's growing at a larger rate than if it would be just 5 or 10,000.
How many counties does the Community Foundation of the North State serve?
We initially started with Shasta and Siskiyou County, and then in 2020 we rebranded to Community Foundation of the North State because it made a little bit more sense.
For sure.
We're not the hospital like I mentioned, and we included Tehama County officially into our service region. So we're Shasta, Siskiyou, and Tehama counties. But we also do a lot of grant making for some of our partner funders and through some of our programs, also in Trinity and Modoc, because they're right there.
Yeah.
And we can help as well.
That's cool. So if I'm obviously, I run a nonprofit. I work with a lot of nonprofits. I've been on a lot of boards. If we say, I would love to do this project to help fund kids that need food, and I'm potentially running a nonprofit that did that, would I just come to the Community Foundation and say, hey, can I have $10,000 to start giving food to kids? Or like, what does that process look? Do you guys just I'm sure you get unsolicited requests all the time for funds. How does that process work? How do you guys manage that?
That's the hard part. It's hard giving away money, but it's really rewarding. So there's a couple different avenues. We sit down and we talk with nonprofits every day, figuring out what their needs are. There's so many needs in our nonprofit community and everywhere within our region. So we have some competitive grants that we offer that they can write to. We have 2 different grant cycles a year, which are exciting. And then we also just learn about these nonprofits, figure out what their needs are, and we can send emails or have conversations with our fund holders who we know perhaps have an affinity for that type of group or that type of organization, and ask them, hey, do you think this is something you want to fund? I have a great example. The Shasta Family YMCA runs the Y Club.
Yeah, love the Y Club.
Y Club is amazing. It's a great service for our community and all the youth, high school, middle school kids after school. They have a lot of students, kids, who perhaps are couch surfers, homeless, or maybe just not the best home situation. So they can go to the Y Club. They have food. They can have homework help. They have all of these things. But then it came obvious to the staff at the Y that they need to wash their clothes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal in high school. There's a lot of things going on with high school kids these days. And so some of the staff were often taking the clothes home to wash them, which isn't the best solution either.
Yeah.
So they thought, well, what if we had a washer and dryer on site and some clothes that the kids could exchange for while things are being washed, while they're safe and healthy in a contained environment at the Y Club. And so we thought, well, let's see what we can do. We sent an email out to a couple of our fund holders that we knew had an affinity for the Y and for youth. We had it funded within the hour.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's great.
That's
it's
incredible.
So fun.
Wow, what a fun job.
It is
What
fun.
a fun job. And then, in the Y too, I mean, to talk about the Y for a minute, that's in the Y, the South building that was given to the Shasta Family YMCA by the McConnell Foundation.
Correct.
Maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. And it's a really cool program. And the way they're expanding to offer food, which is relatively new, and now having being able to wash your clothes. That's pretty amazing.
It's a pretty big deal. We don't think about how much of an impact clean clothes could be, especially for a high school student.
Sure.
And that was something just so easy. Our donors just jumped in and said, yes, of course.
That's so cool. So one of the big things that I think a lot of people, when they think about the Community Foundation of North State, or when they think about the Carr Fire, I think those are very like synonymous. Like what, thinking about that time, a big impact to our community, and the Community Foundation was really able to rally very quickly to accept funds and, really help a lot of people. So walk us through a little bit of that process of, obviously, the Carr Fire. We don't have to relive all of that, but the funding and how that worked.
Sure. Disasters are part of our area.
Yeah.
We know that, unfortunately, and we've seen the Carr Fire and others. The Community Foundation had a little bit of experience before the Carr Fire in weed for the Bowles Fire in 2015. Smaller scale, but still a huge impact.
Huge impact to weed.
Huge impact. So we mimicked that and did the same thing when the Carr Fire hit. We knew it would be a significant turning point for our community. We established its own fund and knew that donations would be starting to flow in. The great thing with the Community Foundation is we have this long-term horizon, this long-term look for how we can do grant making and recovery. There are so many amazing organizations that do the immediate help, and they do it so well. That's not a lane we wanted to get in because we don't want to overstep those that do the really good work for that immediate work. But we had that long-term vision. We know that rebuilding a home is expensive. We know that the costs of grading, of septic tanks, of power poles, those are things that you don't think about. Right. And the costs are astronomical, especially if you don't have insurance or very little insurance. So the Community Foundation worked alongside the long-term recovery group that was established here in the community, and we took that long-term approach, working with the case managers and others that do that social work, because that's not what we do at the foundation. We established a program that assisted those without insurance or very little insurance to help rebuild the homes. And that's exactly what we did.
Wow.
It was challenging in the beginning to hold fast to what we know. We raised over $5.5 million, which is fantastic. And we knew there were needs at the beginning. It's hard. There's a lot of emotions going on.
Yeah.
But by holding true to what we know and that long-term forecast, we were able to rebuild homes, help people get back into their properties, pay for homeowners insurance for a year or two for some of them, and really get everyone back to where their new normal is.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing in Reading, when I think about the nonprofit space, there are so many nonprofits in town. Having run two nonprofits now and being the board chair of other nonprofits, there's a huge need, but it always feels like somehow Shasta County rallies. Like, we're such a unique geographic situation where we're the hub for this entire region. And it amazes me every single time, like, you hear about this need, you hear about this funding challenge, and somehow it always seems to get funded. It's like a miracle. I don't know how it works. I mean, there's tens of millions of dollars going into our nonprofits every year from individual donors in the region. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's just incredible to see.
We live in a pretty special community, and I don't think people see that in other regions and other cities, counties, communities, but we do have a special way of coming together, setting aside our differences, and really working for the end goal. Even if it's not about our personal organization or whatever the case may be, we're working towards the greater good, and that's what makes Reading so amazing.
That's so awesome. So you must work with foundations all around the country, at least from like a professional development standpoint. Do you, when you go to these conferences, do you see that difference? Do you see that difference of like the different communities of we really have something going on? I mean, we're not the most economically advantaged community. We have some disadvantages.
We do, but we have some amazing, beautiful things and connection and people. We have beautiful people. So when I go to the League of California Community Foundations Conference and meet with my colleagues from other community foundations across the state, the conversation is always, How do I get to know my elected officials? How do I get to have a conversation with city council members? And I always just get to sit there and say, well, I just pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah, right. And they'll answer.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
I don't understand what your problem is.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it's a pretty unique community, and it really does come down to the people who live here.
That's amazing. Tell us about some of the stories from the Carr Fire. And, some of those stories that that really make the work you do very personal.
Oh, I could give you 10 million stories.
Give us one or two.
I'll give you two.
Yeah.
Just to show the wide breadth of different types of gifts that we see. There was a little girl in Hayfork. She had a lemonade stand to raise funds to help those impacted by the Carr Fire, and coins, maybe a couple of dollar bills, but mostly coins.
Yeah.
She did not want to put it in the mail. She did not want her dad writing a check. He drove it down.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure he spent more in gas than what he delivered, but that wasn't the point. It was so sweet to know that children are watching what's happening and helping neighbors. That's our community. That's our whole region. And then we think about bigger impact and how this impacted everybody else, not just those inside of the Redding area, but the gifts we saw from outside of California, outside of the U.S. I still remember receiving a check from Lucasfilms.
That's amazing.
And the envelope in which it came in, I saved that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I took that one home. So that's just a great example of how much people were pouring into our communities. And unfortunately, we've had so many disasters all around the U.S. since then. But I know that should something happen here again, and hopefully not, and hopefully never to that same extent, our community is prepared and equipped to respond in the best way.
That's awesome. That's great. Wow. Carr Fire. All those things, just reliving those memories is just, it's obviously a super tragic event, but you also think about the way in which our community rallied at that time. It's like, gosh, I wish we could kind of be like that all the time. We have lots of division, lots of challenges, but we always come together in times of need, which is incredible. So within a couple weeks of this podcast coming out is North State Giving Tuesday, which I thought you guys came up with that whole thing and everybody else in the country copied you to do this Giving Tuesday idea, but you guys do a really great job. So tell us about North State Giving Tuesday.
Yes, well, we can pretend we came up with it.
Totally.
But we didn't. It is a national day of giving. It started in New York. It is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving every single year. This year is December 2nd.
Okay.
You have a day of giving thanks, a couple days of getting deals, but don't forget to save a little bit of cash or a little bit of your budget for giving to end the calendar year and give back to our communities and nonprofits in need. It is such a fun event. It's online, northstategives.org. This year, we have a record number of nonprofits who have registered with the Community Foundation. We vet them. We do all the work.
Make sure they're legit. Okay.
We put them all on one website, and people can go on and read about them, make a donation, give to as many nonprofits as they want under one credit card transaction.
Wow.
And we take care of making sure those nonprofits get their checks a couple weeks later. It's so much fun. It is the greatest day. It is a long day.
Yeah.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Over 210 nonprofits this year.
Oh my gosh.
And last year was a record-breaking amount. The community raised over $1.6 million last year. Yes, in one day. But I think we can break it.
Yeah.
I know we can. We also have prize money available at the Community Foundation. So working with some business partners and also some money from the Community Foundation, we award prizes to our nonprofits a couple times an hour throughout the day. They can win free money.
Nice.
This year we have over $100,000 in prize dollars.
That's why it's really the best time to give to your favorite nonprofit because, again, you can leverage it, you can get more, and you can get some of this prize money. So what do you have, like power hours and different things like that?
We have power hours, we have hourly sponsors, we have most unique donors throughout the day. We have all sorts of fun things to make sure our nonprofits can be rewarded. It's just so much fun to watch the ticker to go up all day. It's great.
And for some of these nonprofits, I am assuming this is probably their biggest day of the year. This is where they get their most money throughout the entire year. Some of these guys aren't doing, golf tournaments or whatever else. This is a big, big day for them.
It is a big day for them, especially now with all of the changes in funding from state and federal levels. They really need our support. And these nonprofits are part of our community. They provide essential services for our community and our community members. It's a great way to give back. And if you don't know who your favorite nonprofit is, you can search by subject area.
Yeah.
Look by animals, look by youth, whatever the case may be. There's going to be at least one or two that you're going to fall in love with. Learn about them, make your donation, and watch the ticker. It's so much fun.
That's cool. That's cool. So you talked about the fund for the North State. And I know you touched on it a little bit earlier too, but what is the fund for the North State? So that's not just a donor designated fund. That's a little more broad. What is that fund?
Correct. So of our 180 plus funds, they're all donor directed, whether it's specifics for grants or for scholarships. And we honor that because that's our job to steward those funds. With Fund for the North State, that allows the board and staff and community to help direct funds where they're needed in an immediate need or resource, and allows us to be really flexible. So let's say we didn't have donors to help fund that washer and dryer at the Y.
Right.
We could have done it through Fund for the North State.
Oh, okay.
So a couple really great examples is at the Anderson Teen Center. Again, the youth. We have to make sure our youth are well equipped and prepared. They had an oven, or they have an oven, at the Anderson Teen Center. Kids go there every day after school. Again, safe place. They get food and they learn how to cook food. Their oven went out.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
And they were trying to fundraise for it on Facebook. And one of us happened to see it. And we gave them a call and said, well, how much do you think an oven would cost? And they said, we need $500. We said, great, no problem. We'll send you $500 tomorrow.
Wow.
Take down the Facebook
You can
thing.
go that fast?
We can move that fast.
Is there kind of a limitation of how quickly you guys can go or what that fund amount is or the need amount is?
We do have some limitations.
Okay. You don't have to give us the exact number, but...
Do have some limitations, but it's pretty flexible. And it allows us to be really responsive. And that's why this fund is so important. We want to be responsive as possible.
Wow.
Another great example is up at the Dunsmuir Library. Cute little library. They called us, not asking us for money, but asking where should they go seek funds because they needed to replace their lighting system. Their lighting system was so poor people couldn't sit and read in the library.
Oh, gosh.
That's kind of defeats the purpose, right? We thought, oh gosh, well, how much do you think that would cost? They said, well, like $1,200. We said, yeah, great, not a problem. We'll provide that grant for you. Easy, easy peasy.
Wow.
And that just
incredible.
Feels so good.
Yeah.
Big grants are important. Big grants are needed. But sometimes those smaller ones really create a bigger impact in the long run.
Oh, yeah. That's incredible. How do you guys work with other funding needs? Like if there's a bigger need, how do you position yourself within that? Is there an example of like a bigger project where the fund for the North State or something else happened where you guys were able to help, fill a gap basically for a bigger project?
Long time ago, when the Veterans Cemetery was first put in up in Igo, had everything ready, everything was set to go, they were moving along, but there's nothing that states the grass has to be green.
Oh, gosh.
At the cemetery. And that just doesn't seem right at
No.
all. So a group of community members came together and established an endowment fund at that time. And so now this fund helps pay for the water, a portion of the water every year to make sure every section of that cemetery where people are interned is green year round.
Wow. How did you guys even find out that need existed or that challenge was going to be there?
It's just being connected with different people, using our board members and using our community members to help be our eyes and ears. So we encourage community members to let us know what's going on because we can't be everywhere and know everything all the time.
Right. What other, just broadly speaking, other stories come to mind when you think about the impact the Community Foundation has made over the last 25 years? This is your 25-year anniversary. So what are some other favorite stories? Because I'm sure you have hundreds of them.
I have so many fun stories. Let's see. Something that people look at and drive by probably every day is the giant flag on I-5.
Yeah, sure. Then Lions Club. One of the Lions
Correct.
Club kind of manages that, I believe.
The Enterprise Lions Club manages it. They do a phenomenal job. They make sure the flagpole is taken care of, the flags are taken care of, they replace and repair as necessary. But that's really expensive, really, really expensive. And they're a small but mighty club.
They are.
And so years ago, they also established an endowment fund and did so many drive-throughs up there on Bocelli to help raise funds so that now there's a permanent asset available to them forever to make sure that that flag will fly forever exactly as it should. And we help manage those dollars.
You guys really impact a lot of areas of the North State. That's amazing.
Yes.
So fun. What a fun job.
Yes.
What challenges do you guys have at the Community Foundation?
We just don't have enough money. There's never enough money to fill all the need. And that would be amazing if we did, but we don't. Especially now with all of the cuts happening and all of our nonprofits having to make some really serious decisions and cuts. And we'd love to be able to fill that gap. But unfortunately, our funds only go so far. So that's a challenge. And I think just making sure we know what's going on and what don't we know that's happening that we need to be sure to be responsive to. And whether it's funds through the Community Foundation or helping connect them with other relationships we may have with other funders, that's also important to us as well.
Yeah. So within the Fund for the North State, we also now have a Shasta County one. Is that correct?
Correct.
Tell me about the Shasta County Fund.
Yes, so we have the Fund for the North State, and we love that. That's for all 3 of our counties in the region. However, we know some people want to give just for their communities. So we do have a fund for Shasta, Siskiyou, and Tehama counties. We just launched the Shasta Fund, which is super exciting for us. It was established from a bequest from someone who just wanted to help Shasta County, which is lovely.
That's awesome.
And so now we can do more very responsive, quick grant making where those needs happen. And that's so much fun. We'll be using community panel members to help make these decisions.
Oh, cool.
Because we know at the Community Foundation, the board and staff only know so much. We are only connected so much. But people who live in the community, who are leaders in different facets and different avenues, they know more. And so if we can bring them to the table, they can help us make those decisions and get those grants out.
That's cool. So is the Fund for Shasta and the Fund for the North State, are there any restrictions on that? Are there things that you are kind of non-negotiables that, we want to cover these things, but are there any other restrictions on those funds?
We want to look for immediate and emergency needs.
Okay.
That's our primary goal. We have funds and competitive grants for things that can be planned for and used later, but we're really looking for that emergency. Where can we make a really big impact right now?
Gotcha. Is any of those funds ever, and maybe I'll take this question out later, but do any of them go towards like people for, there's always a GoFundMe for someone that's sick or something that happens. Is there any funds that the Community Foundation works in that area? Because again, there's always a GoFundMe for someone has some health issue.
Absolutely. And those are really important to give to and help those families, and our community does.
Yeah.
The Community Foundation is the most flexible charitable organization, according to the IRS, except for giving to individuals.
Okay. All right. That's pretty clear. Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We do scholarships, and we write those scholarship checks directly to the institution or the college or wherever they're enrolled. We don't give it to the individual. But we do work with nonprofits that help individuals directly. So we can make grants to, for example, Alyssa Ariza, Wings of Angels,
Love that organization.
to help do the great work that they do for those individuals.
That's cool. Wow. I was on a scholarship committee years ago, and it's amazing to see how incredible our North State kids are. I mean, these scholarship applications and their grades, I mean, it's pretty impressive. The kids that are being produced out of our Shasta County schools and by our Shasta County families, it's cool. I mean, how much scholarship money through all the different funds does the Community Foundation distribute each year?
We award anywhere between $350,000 to $400,000 each year in scholarship awards alone. And thinking back about my high school senior year, I mean, it pales in comparison to so many of these students here in our state.
Yeah.
They're pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thankful I had the GI Bill. Otherwise, school might have been a little different. But when I got to school, when I got to college, I was pretty motivated. So out of high school, I was a little bit squirrely. So it worked out. It worked out for the best.
It does work out. And something that I love also with our scholarship fund holders, they're not just for your universities or colleges. It's also for the trades. We have so many trade scholarships available. And sometimes those are hard to get to the students that need to know about them or apply. But the trades are so important, and we want to support them as well.
All right. So how do people, if they want to give, can they give into an existing fund, then partner with an existing donor-directed fund, or can they just give to anywhere? How does that process work?
So depending on what the donor's wishes are, when we sit down and have that really fun conversation, that's when we figure out, is there a fund established already that fits their needs and they can add to it, or do they want to establish their own fund? And we walk through that as well. And then we get to talk about how do they want to give? What will they be giving with? And everyone immediately thinks of cash, checks, credit cards, because that seems easy, but that's actually kind of restrictive in some way because you're hurting your own pocketbook.
Right.
But it's great and fun to think about gifts of stock, appreciated stock.
Yeah.
If you give it to the community foundation or a nonprofit, there's no capital gains.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it's a great tax issue. If you're over 70 and a half and older with your IRA, you have a required amount that you must take out of your IRA every year, a required minimum distribution. But you're taxed on that because you put it in tax-free. If you roll that and make a gift to the community foundation from your required amount, there's no taxes.
Oh, great. Wow.
So that's another fun way to think about it. We are also licensed to do charitable gift annuities, which is we're one of the few in the North State that are allowed to do that. You make a gift, you get a tax deduction, you get an annual payment, you still get some deduction, and at the end of the day, you get to benefit a fund at the community foundation.
That's great.
So there's lots of different opportunities.
Gold? Do you take gold?
We could, absolutely.
Oh, okay, all right.
Gold, they're highest prices right now,
Yeah,
so that would be great.
very high.
Gold, art, real estate.
Could you take a physical art, and then how do you do that? Do you sell it or broker it to somebody?
Just get an appraisal just like anything else.
Have you done that before? Have you taken art?
We have not yet.
Okay, but you could.
But we have some in some estate plans that we know will be coming our way, which is very exciting. We also take gifts of real estate and real property. We're currently working on liquidating some of those. We're not property managers.
Yeah.
We don't want to hold property.
You're selling them. But you're not taking long-term like rental income or something like that.
No,
that'd be a pain.
Doesn't make sense for us. That's not in our mission. But we can liquidate it and either put it in a fund at the foundation or gift it to a nonprofit directly.
Okay.
So that's a service we can offer. We can take Bitcoin.
Nice.
We can take all sorts of things.
Okay.
Yes.
So outside of, you do a lot of giving for reactive stuff. There's a reaction, there's a natural disaster, something's going on, someone has a need, so you're reacting a lot for funds. Are there ever cases where there's a really proactive need in a fund that you see and that you've been able to give to anywhere throughout the North State?
Yes, absolutely. We know fires are going to happen, and we are reactive and have been reactive for that recovery, but we can help on the front end as well. So recently, a year or so ago, we gave a grant to the Tehama County Resource Conservation District to purchase a piece of equipment that would help with mitigation, clearing, et cetera, mostly in the Manton area. And then when the park fire hit, we know, was going to be fairly impacted. They let us know afterwards that with that equipment and the work they were able to do, it held the line for getting into Manton.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
So that's not the fun work. It's not something we see necessarily, but it is so important to help our communities. In addition, we've helped place some water tanks in the Manton area in that region. There's no fire hydrants up there. Water is scarce. We've had some drought issues over the past few years. And so that also will help that community should the next disaster happen.
Wow, that's incredible. We see a lot of needs. We see a lot of challenges. There's always some economic cycle happening. Where do you see Shasta County in the next 10 years? And not necessarily maybe just in your wheelhouse, but you're local now. You're local. Where do you see Shasta County in 10 years?
That's a really hard question. and kind of really exciting to think about. I have to be optimistic because that's the only way to be. And I have to believe, and I know that there will be something that brings our community even closer together, much like it did with the Carr Fire. And I don't believe it'll be a disaster. It'll be some sort of turning point, and our communities will be even more vibrant, even more active, and a really amazing place, even more of an amazing place to live. So there's going to be some sort of turning point.
Yeah.
And we are just going to explode with happiness, cheerfulness. You know, the sun brings it in, of course, and we're very sunny here. But there's going to be something that just really takes us off, and that's going to be a really fun moment. I don't know what it is yet, though.
Yeah, I do feel like something's in the air. Like I feel like something is potentially coming.
Yes.
You know, we've gone through this divisive period. You know, we're seeing some things kind of change right now, good and bad. So hopefully we'll see something soon.
I think so. Between the revitalization of downtown and the boom that we've seen there, that's just going to spread. And whether it's through businesses, the environment, all of those things, we're gonna just take off and be the best place ever because we are already.
That's awesome. All right, so outside of soccer, giving people money, we can include fishing in this. What is your ideal day in Shasta County? You can include fishing, but not soccer. Yeah.
Well, I do enjoy watching the team and watching the kids on the soccer pitch. My favorite day is just to enjoy outdoors, honestly, to see people, because our people are amazing. And whether it's walking across the bridge or floating underneath it, fishing, those are some of my favorite times.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like we're all so busy. How often are you able to actually go fishing?
Not very often.
Okay. All right.
I was going to say, I don't have time for all of those things.
Right.
But that's what I enjoy and love about the community. One of the greatest things is driving around town every day. Doesn't matter what time of day it is, doesn't matter what day it is, doesn't matter what the weather is. You see somebody you know.
Oh, for sure.
Every single time. And that's pretty special.
Yeah.
You don't get that everywhere else.
Yeah, and it's event season right now. We're in the holidays, full swing. I mean, it feels, it's a lot because we all have so many events right now, but it's also like, it's that time of year that you really get to see a lot of people all the time. And, that's what I love about the North State is it's, like you said earlier, it's the people. We have great projects. We have great outdoor recreation. It's a beautiful place to live. But it's really the people that make the difference. And I think we're all in it together. There's good or bad. We're in this together. And so I think we're continuing to get better. And I think we will get better every day.
Absolutely. And I think as the Community Foundation grows as well, hopefully we can be a partner in that growth and see it explode into greatness.
And you guys will be here forever.
We will be.
Perpetuity. The one organization in town that will never, ever change.
That is correct.
That's incredible.
Yes.
The City Builders podcast is brought to you by Obsidian IT. Obsidian IT is a Reading-based, employee-owned technology company providing simple, scalable, outsourced IT for your business. Discover how Obsidian cares about IT and give them a call at 530-242-6000 or obsidianit.com. Obsidian keeps us running at the Chamber, and we could not do business without them.